Alright, so this is Cant. It's a Daniel Caesar sample. I'll be able to show the processing. This I just cut the low end, and this I just got as much low end as I could out and cut some of the high, just so it blends in a little nicer. Obviously I've got the faders here that you can see. Obviously faders to bring it out. Yeah, that was my first attempt. I'm pretty sure this was my second attempt, and this definitely sounds a lot better, so I'm not even going to bother going over that. But anyway, do you know what? I will actually. I will go over it because that's good development actually. I had a hi-hat in this, I'm pretty sure, and I think I just got rid of it because I didn't like it. But if I go into here, you can see that, like, what I was saying before with the velocities being, like, very similar to each other and not really giving that human kind of take on it, apart from the rolls, applies to here. But with the chords as well, because I knew what key this was in, but obviously it was pitched up. Like, oh, I didn't say this because I got interrupted. This, when I didn't realise when you brought this in, there's a thing called sample rate, and it's done by like kilobits, I think, or something like that. And mine is 48, but this is 44. So when you put it in as 44, it pitches it up. Don't ask why. I don't know why. You don't know why. We all don't know why. But it's just the case. And it also increases the BPM and like blah blah blah, all that boring stuff. But yeah, to stem split this, I don't have availability to do that in any of these, apart from this, but it only does vocals and background, which means that it would have taken out this basically if I unsolo everything and just it would have gone in with the top one, which is baby I love you but I can't, no I can't. I'm pretty sure this still has a limiter on it. If I go stereo out, yep, it's got a limiter on it. Been over that enough times now. Don't think I really have to say why. With the drums, it's very basic, very Kanye kind of inspired. I mean, that does make sense. The entire week, I was glazing Kanye. I was just really like into him. no homo, but like, you get what I mean. I was just like all the videos I was watching. So if we go into the drum machine for it, you can see that I added quite a lot of reverb. Probably want to turn that down a bit because it stands out a bit. Probably like there. Yeah, that's definitely a lot better. Increased it, amplifier, same with this, same with that. Again, again, that hard hit. Probably want to fade this out actually because it's got a lot of cut off. Like, I mean, that sounds a lot smoother with this. You can hear it like almost like cut off because it's being taken from something. Again, not going to be released, not going to make any money, not illegal, blah blah blah. And with these chords, I have to go to the original ones because this is actually like the first thing I did. And because the key changed, obviously the chords changed. I didn't really voice them any differently. I think this was a E minor 7 and I just took out the 5th just to get it that drop. Obviously, main roll, unquantized it. Make sure it's not just hitting instantly. It gives that like piano kind of bling bling. So it rolls. I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't change. 808, same kind of thing. But what I did about the other one that was different. Also, I added a fader. I think I didn't do anything to the mode because normally I cut it off like that, but clearly I just let it. You know what I mean? It's got that fade off. Anyway, I cut the 808s from it because I don't know, I just didn't like it, and I just kind of added my own bass. So this acoustic bass. Just a slap bass, nothing added on, stock preset, and with this nylon Rhodes, just to give it that nice kind of like pretty, you know, sound. And with this, you just cut the lows a bit and the highs a bit. This no EQs, 808, it's got a little EQ on it. Cut the lows, like I said before, just to make it less muddy. Drum machine's got nothing, and obviously I went over these. I think this has got a second EQ on it. Yeah, just dipping a little frequency just to make sure that it's all like even and stuff. Obviously get rid of it just to create some structure. Oh, I didn't go over the automation either. Because it was gone, I wanted to increase it just a tiny little bit in the volume. It's also probably not aligned, but I think that makes it better because, you know, it changes the volume before it gets into it, so there isn't like a little spike. One way I figured out the chords was just this chord track. You put it in, and it does all that. But I never, it does nothing. It's always wrong. And yeah, it's just there, innit? And this like attempt, the 808 just doesn't do anything. I guess it serves as like a kick, but I then use a kick. But it is a really subby 808, so it does kind of balance it out. But it just sounds really basic. The drums, there's nothing interesting about it. Where I think this one is just like a little funky bass line. Yeah, and then the 808 comes back in when the structure comes back. But I went with a way more simple bass. I think it just sounds way better. I mean, I can literally just do this, like just go, and maybe add a little one of these just as like an outro. Yeah, it's a nice little fade out. Doesn't need any effects or anything like that. Yeah, I think I've gone over everything. I've gone over the mix. Again, like I said, this still got a bloody limiter on it. Ugh. Yeah, that's just the lungs of this, so that's not really EQ'd or anything. 808, it's a very basic 808, but obviously I get rid of it, so there's no. I mean, maybe I could add it in here, but again, I don't want to get stuck on stuff because the project's changed. I've got an entire year after this to do an EP and get ready for uni. So, you know, this kind of stuff isn't on the priority on my list. You know, this is just kind of just regular stuff. So, you know. Like, also just like doing little things like messing around with the drums just to make sure that it's not repetitive and the same thing. But I didn't do that because I just wanted to do and make stuff. So yeah, that's about it. I stem splitted these by using a AI one that's free. It should be somewhere in here. Yeah. So if I press that, I can show you that. And that's when it goes into the regular song, because it's just the intro of the song. That's where I got the sample from. I was very happy with the fact that the backing vocals were included in this one, so I could use it as the main melody, the loop. But you see what I mean? B major 95, where if you go into the actual project, it's 103, and everything's in E major. It's like a whole step up. So, yeah, that's annoying. But that's something I know now. So if I ever wanted to give it another go, then I can. So make these faders even. Why not? Well, that's that. Hope you enjoyed mush, because I know I did.